Here we are at Virginia Waters, where today we'll be walking the circular Virginia Water pathway. We can either go clockwise or anti-clockwise, but we'll be going anti-clockwise basically because the Cascades, which is the steepest part of the walk, will be at the beginning instead of the end where we may be a bit tired. We head off down this pathway down towards the water, where we then go left. As soon as we come through the gate, we'll find a small cafeteria with public toilets, and on the right hand side there is a picnic area. At the first junction we go off to our left, so we're heading off in that direction towards the Virginia Water Cascade. At this point we can see right down the length of Virginia Water. At different points along the track you will see these signs beside the road. This one pointing out that this tree in front of us was planted in 1785. At the next junction we'll follow the pathway to our left, which is tarmacked. There is a signpost here marking the Cascade, Black Rest Gate and the ruins, and we head down to the Cascade. This is the steepest part of the walk, and in icy weathers can be exceptionally slippery. Otherwise it's generally fine to pass. The pathway along most of the route is tarmacked. There is a small part on the other side of the lake which is a gravel pathway, but it's still easily traversable by mobility scooter or wheelchairs. And here we are at the Cascades, originally built in the 1750s. It was washed away a few years later in a violent storm and rebuilt in the 1780s. After passing the Cascades we just head straight up the hill along the tarmac footpath. Virginia Water has a mixture of fowl life on the lake: swans, ducks, mongoose. At various parts during the walk we'll find various follies. This in fact is not a folly. These stones actually came from Liptus Manor, a Roman city in Libya, and they were transferred here as a gift to the then Prince Regent, who then comes to become George IV. They were moved here by carriage between August and October 1826 after a brief stay at the British Museum. These are the remains of the first pond head, which was a causeway built to dam up the Serpentine Virginia brook to form the first Virginia Water, which originally went across over to there. In a bad storm in 1768 it was all washed away. Banks of Virginia Water are actually surrounded by woodlands, grass areas like this one, and formal gardens. And here we are looking across at the boathouse, which we'll have a better view of when we're over on that side of the bank. After about a mile we come across our first junction, and we'll just stick on the tarmac footpath which carries on straight ahead. Here we can see the 5-arch bridge which goes across Virginia Water, which we will be crossing in about 15 minutes. Built between 1822 and 1827, it replaced an earlier stone bridge which had replaced an earlier wooden bridge. At the next junction we have this pebble pathway coming in from our left. We again will stay on the tarmac footpath and cross over this small bridge here. When walking the footpath you'll find these snack bars. They're generally not always open, but when they are they sell food and drink. Just over the bridge we come to this wide junction. Again we stay on the tarmac pathway and head up in that direction towards the 5 Arches Bridge. We now join a public road which goes across the 5 Arches Bridge. There's very seldom many cars on here. In fact there's more cyclists and horse riders. At the 5 Arches Bridge we can now look straight down Virginia Water back to where we started. We carry on across the bridge and just carry on up the road. As I said, surrounding Virginia Water there's lots of different types of habitats. In this case we've got heathland just here, which is just the other side of the 5 Arches Bridge. The first junction we come to after crossing the 5 Arches Bridge is this one here, a roadway coming in from our right. This just leads down to some houses over on the right hand side. So at this point we just carry on along the road towards the Guards Polo Grounds. At the next junction we have 2 other roads coming in from our left hand side. Both are inaccessible and we just carry on around to the right across the causeway. We now head across the causeway and we're going to go right just on the other side. As soon as we reach the other end of the causeway we go right down beside the fence line there. Occasionally this can be quite muddy. If it is, you can carry on a little bit further ahead where you'll see a signpost. Go right there, then right again at the next junction. Just past the causeway, or actually on the causeway, there used to be a hermitage where you know some of the bottom stonework is still there. It was actually introduced by George IV as a fishing temple in the King's Boats House. At the next junction we have a pathway coming in from our left. We are carrying on straight ahead. The pathway from the left is if you went the long way route around, you'll be coming down from that direction. On the left you'll see the Valley Gardens. There's a number of walkways going through here, and in the spring it's an absolute riot of colour. Even here in early autumn, it's still exceptionally colourful. We're now heading down this dirt track with the valley gardens on our left. In the middle of Virginia Water we can see this little island. There is a bridge across to it, but that's actually private. There's no access to the public. On this island was the fishing temple built by George IV, King Fisherman, in 1825. The temple itself was finally demolished in 1867 and was replaced by a Swiss chalet, which was subsequently demolished in 1936. Just looking into the valley gardens. At the next junction we have a pathway coming out from the valley gardens on our left, but we'll be heading straight up the hill around the corner to the right. In the next junction we have a pathway coming in from our left from the valley gardens, and again we just head straight ahead up the main pathway. At the next junction we have another pathway coming in from our left, but we're heading around to our right, so we're going off that direction beside the hedge. At the next junction we have a pathway going off to our left and one straight ahead, and we carry on straight ahead towards the totem pole, which is just down in front of us down there. This totem pole, which is 100 feet tall, was erected in 1958 to mark the centenary of British Columbia as a Crown colony. We now come back onto the tarmac footpath and we go right here across the causeway. After we cross the causeway, the pathway swings around to the right, with another pathway coming in to the left, and we just carry on straight ahead down there. At the next junction we have a pathway coming in from our left. Again we just go straight ahead up the tarmac footpath with the lake to our right. At the next junction we have a pathway leading off on our left hand side, but we will continue along the tarmac footpath heading towards our right. At the next junction we have a pathway going to our left, which we could follow, but it takes us back to the car park where we started, or we can carry on down the tarmac footpath straight ahead. And here we are back at our starting point at the cafeteria next to the car park. The car park just over the outside of these trees.